In this video, we're going to take a little look at how we use the tab key on your keyboard, the indent buttons, and tab stops to change the layout and structure of your Word document. So first things first, we'll take a look at using the indent key. Okay, so first things first, we've got some text here. I've just used the generic lorem ipsum, which you get from, it's like text that's been generated in Latin. It's just for placeholder text. No one actually uses it for anything, mainly on websites when you're developing them. So what we can do, if we want to move this and indent it in, we can use the tab button above caps lock, like that, for the whole thing, or individual sentences, like that. Okay. Similarly, we can also use this button up here, which increases the indent and decreases the indent. Nice and easy. So the next thing is using the ruler, which is here. So if you can't see the ruler, you just go to view and check and uncheck the ruler. Okay, so you might notice actually that here this is moved where I've tabbed in from using the tab key, and here it's back at the start. So what we have is we've got the left indent marker, sorry, the left one and the right one. So we'll start with the right one. If we want to reduce sort of width of the text, essentially, we can just drag this along and it reduces that and that. So we'll leave it like that. We'll leave it on 8. Okay, and then we've got the first line indent marker. So you see here, this is our first line. So what we could do is highlight our text and increase the first line indent marker, and you can see that just the first line is getting indented. Now next thing we've got is this one here. Okay, we've got left indent and a little line underneath it. Now what this one does is this moves the whole thing. So if I just put this back to normal, so I'll just leave it as it was at the start, you see this is increasing the indent for the whole paragraph of text. Now what you might get asked to do is you might get asked to increase your indent by a specific amount. So you could go to layout, go to indent, and you could say I want 2 centimeters or whatever it is. So you just add that in really easily if you get a question that wants a very specific indentation. The next thing we can do is use what's called tabs or tab stops. Now there's decimal, left, center, right, and bar. Now at the moment, if we're just pressing tab, what that does is that automatically tabs in ½ inch to the right. Now what we can do is add different stops to the ruler to essentially set where our tabs are going to go, how far they're going to go, and it makes it a lot more, a lot easier and a lot simpler to add in lots of different tabs rather than constantly pressing tab like that or messing around with the ruler. So what you can then do is use each of these to set different levels of tabs. So I'm just going to take this tab off there. So if I click on this tab and I add one, let's say on the 3, like that, then I go to center tab, put that on the 8. I'm going to get the right tab, I'm going to put that on 13, let's say, like that. Now when I press tab, that goes to the first one, second one, third one when I press tab on my keyboard. So what I'm doing is I'm setting up various different tabs that I can use, so I don't have to keep messing around with the ruler, moving things around up and down and stuff. And if you want to get rid of any of these, you can just pull them off the ruler and it goes, and you can just type as normal. Now one thing you're going to get asked to do is, if you get told to do these tabs, is to actually evidence them. So if you press this, go to home and press this little button here, you can see it shows you whenever you have started a new paragraph. So you see here I press enter, start a new paragraph, I get rid of that, it's gone, and that symbol's gone as well. Now what you might want to do, let's say we've got a decimal stop here, so I'm gonna put a decimal break in there, I go to there and press tab, you see this little arrow appears. That's what you're going to evidence. So you can take a snipping tool or a screenshot of this little arrow showing that you've used your tab. See, the normal tab doesn't show it. So if you just try and essentially trick the exam board by pressing tab loads of times to bring it in, or just try and sort of fiddle it with the arrows at the top like that, you won't get the marks. So it's really important you do it properly. You add the tab stop on and you press tab so you get that little arrow. And that's pretty much it. So you can set all of these different tabs as various points and use the tab key on your keyboard to go ahead and implement them. If you just want to do a simple tab, you can just use a tab key, or you can press this button up here. Hopefully that was really easy to understand, really simple, and I'll see you in the next video.